What's up guys, Sub-Zero here. Sorry for the lack of videos recently, but if you watch this video, you will understand why. I have been hard grinding TFT to go for snapshots. If you guys don't know, they take basically a snapshot of the top 152 people on ladder, or it's really the top 152 people who have signed up for the next TFT tournament, Shrima Cup, and those are the people who get in. I really wanted to be in those top 150, so I've just been nonstop playing TFT, not really worried about grinding TFT, and as you can see here, I am rank 152 right now, which is basically guaranteed to make it in because there are people who are Smurfs in the top 152. There are people who are foreign players who can't play in our tournaments. So basically 152 is guaranteed, and usually top like 200 makes it, probably top 180 if like infinite people play. So I want to VOD review a game today from my climb. This was from today, just from a few hours ago, with Joe B in the call, keeping me sane. So I wasn't playing Caitlyn for a while just because I felt like I wasn't that good at it. But I thought, you know what? I have the Caitlyn master himself chatting with me. Let's play our best game of TFT, and I can like pick his pick his mind on how to play this comp and that kind of stuff. Or this legend. So yes, that's what we're here. We immediately take Stars is Born. It's better than every single augment in the game. So I'm looking at this opener here. I see we have a solid bruiser front line. And Joe B, of course, sees the Malzahar 2 in shop, which takes me a sec to see because I'm like, oh, Jin 2, Irelia could be good stuff. But I mean, Malzahar 2, he got broken with Stars is Born, and this still allows us to make 10 gold. You love this kind of opener where you can make 10 and still field a relatively strong board. But as you can probably tell from the title of this video, this opener does not go great. I mean, when you look at already our items to like place orcs, they're fine. I actually like Zizirot Slim here a lot. Also, this person took Stars is Born, by the way, and hit 8 Chogats. They had like 5 Chogats, then took Stars is Born, hit another 3. Like, I don't understand. After the Zizirot Portal Slam here, I was talking to Joe between Zizirot and Guardbreaker. I like Zizirot here because it kills the bow, which you don't love in the comp, except for like Static Shiv or like GS or something. It kills the Giant Spell, which outside of Zizirot I don't love. And it doesn't kill the glove, which I think is very important because you really like glove for JG. If you build Guardbreaker but never get to a JG, it actually feels quite bad. So I really like Zizirot over Guardbreaker here. Also, Source is just a comp that generally lacks frontline. It's just not like a super frontliney comp. You just want to have enough time for your Sorks to one-shot their board. So the ZZ Rod I think is actually really solid for that. Also, you can see I'm scouting Infinite, trying to get my Malzahar in the correct position. You always want your Malz ulting the middle of their front line, so he goes and hits 3 units. Here, obviously, there are only 2 units to hit, but you always want him in the middle of their front line. So that's really crucial when you play this comp, so keep that in mind as well. But yeah, like we have a good comp, or we have a decent opener. We still haven't hit actually a strong 2 cost. We're looking ideally for a Swain here, but Kassadin is fine. Even Vi is all right, but it's actually really interesting. So let's talk about our next shop here because we get offered Vi and we get a Vel'Koz here. Now, you could take Vi and put her in over a Nectin here. The problem is that Vi isn't actually like useful in Sorks past like stage 2, maybe like middle of stage 3. And we're already on a 2 loss streak, so it's not like we're playing for 5 streak. If I was offered like Vi here at like 2-1, probably always take it and play for streak. But because I'm offered it at 2-3 here after a couple losses, you can make the decision to not actually take Vi here and then wait for either a Swain or a Kassadin, and that's what I do here. But yeah, I think this is a really interesting thing, and I think like if you have played the Stars is Born strat and you struggled with it, because like there are tons of people who take it and they don't just win every single game in a row. Like it's hard to play. Knowing not to make Vi here, I think is like what? Like I was like thinking about taking Vi here, and then Joe was like, I think it's like not Vi, and I was like, oh, you know what? That actually like makes perfect sense. Here is really good. Shojin is great in this comp. Blue buff is great in this comp. Static Shiv is great in this comp. So you always want tier. I would have taken a Rod for JG, but it got taken. So sadly, we were I mean not that sadly, but a little bit sadly, we're living with this. But that's fine. And now we get rewarded for not taking the Vi. We get a Kassadin, but also obviously a Swain would have been insane. You can get Kassadin in here. Level, play this board. I almost played this board for a sec, but the best board here is, of course, for Sork by cutting their Renekton 2. Renekton 2 is cool and all, but you actually have enough frontline already, so we get this in at the last second like a beast. So yeah, we have our ZZ route on Kassadin 2, and our board should be quite strong. You see right here, Malzahar positioned in the middle of all these units, so look at this beautiful ult, just so much damage. That's why you have to pay attention. like really, really close attention when you play this comp. We're also fighting another Stars is Born player with a Kassadin too, but because of our beautiful positioning, and because of our Zizirot's portal, we are able to win this fight, which is huge. Means we're gonna be able to make 30 next round. We can maybe play for a 3 streak. So yeah, like honestly, like a totally fine opener. But like not high roll by any means. And we have to make ZZ route, like our items are not perfect. But you'll see further into the game why I titled this video the way that I did. And I know I keep referring to it like I don't actually know what I'm gonna title this video. I'm gonna figure that out after I record it. So yeah, I guess future. Can you guys comment on this video and tell me what I should title this video so that my past self will see the comments and then know? We also slammed tier here just to try to make sure that we win this fight. This is something that Joe's also a really big proponent of. Like I was talking to Joe yesterday a little bit. He really loves just slamming the random item here in a situation like this when you're almost always going to be making like slamming the tier on Mal's, right? Like you're almost always going to be making a tier item on Mal's. Like the only tier item that you wouldn't make is like protectors or like redemption or something, but like you don't even really want to make those because like it's very crucial to have tier item on Mal's. So yeah, another actually like really solid shop here. We get the Swain in. We can put this over Oriana. And we've hit, most of our board. We still have nothing to start except for the stuff from Stars is Born. Something that Joe told me here that I had no clue is he actually values Soraka a good bit on this board. Like he would play Soraka on 6 here, which is very smart, right? It gives you Targon. It's also just like a very solid unit to make your frontline tankier. We do get Taric too here. Okay. It was like, look, you'll see the Laurel part. Like, this looks pretty good, right? But you'll see the Laurel part later. Okay. All I'm saying is this game, like, I did hit a Tarek too, for sure. That is true. Like, I won't say that this is the most Laurel game of my life. Oh God, my throat. But you will see what goes wrong later in this game because it's bad. It is bad. Just because you high roll one thing doesn't mean the game's high roll. Copium. But yeah. Make blue up here. We're just gonna win this fight easily because our board's way stronger. I talked to Joe about potentially going level 6 here, but like he's a very smart TFT player, and he does what I do, which is you scout here, you see what do the rest of the boards look like. Is leveling here actually going to swing a fight? And I don't think it actually is going to swing a fight. So all good. We are just chilling here, looking at our augment here. Okay, so obviously knowledge download is always a roll. This is also always a roll. We had branching of Ron's ticket, which are just horrible. So we're forced to take Harm Assist here, which is also, in my opinion, a pretty bad augment personally. But I mean, it's better than all of these. So all good. We can level for Ori here and play like an okay board. It's not like Giga Broken. The Taric 2 is really going to carry us along with the Kassadin. He says he was thinking about potentially Soraka over Swain, but I don't think I'm like, well, if we do that, then we can't make 40, which is very true. But yeah, you see here, I'm looking to position the egg in the place where it's going to get the biggest knock up. Like, boom, I knock up 2 units here with the egg like a beast. And I still get to make 40 gold here, which is great. That being said, the board I'm fighting has Sorkspat, Sork +1, Swain 2, Teemo 2 with Sorkspat, a Shen, a Jarvan. I was like, did they roll? And he was like, nah, there's no way they rolled. Because like they're 30 gold here, which makes sense, right? Like, how could they possibly be 30 gold here if I'm 40 with Stars is Born? But like, what is this board, man? They just naturaled every relevant forecast for their board. Like, I simply don't understand, but it's fine. Here's another thing, like Teemo over Oriana here. I think it makes the board way stronger here. But after talking to Joe, we put Teemo back on the bench, which is really, I mean, smart when you think about it. Joe, when he plays this type of Stars is Born style, he really prioritizes like making econ because it allows you to like push levels and go 8 and cap out your board high enough. And like Teemo is not so much better than Ori that it's worth not making gold here. So really smart stuff. Allows us to guaranteed make 50, and like we're still gonna win the fight. It's a marginally better thing, but like it's not like we're on like a 7 win streak or something. Like we don't need to win this fight after losing the last one. We lost our streak, and we get to guaranteed make 50. So just really smart stuff out of Joe. Okay, so I want a glove here, or I want a rod here for JG. There is no single rod on the carousel. I'm thinking like, okay, maybe I can take a tier for Static Shiv, perhaps. Then both of the tiers get taken, so I'm forced into taking Bow here. Bow or Chain. Yeah, we talked about Bow Chain, but I'm pretty sure it's always Bow here, just for some kind of damage item, ideally Static Shiv. But yeah, can't level here. It's 36 gold to level, so we just chill. But we're still like rich-ish. We're not like giga rich, but we're somewhat rich. So we will continue to play this board. As you can see, that other player, the Cho'Gath player, ended up hitting Cho 3. I see swaps here. I think I end up swapping the egg and the Taric here, which is a little scary. But like just getting the knock up on this egg is so like boom, knock up 2. I guess if I had had it where the Taric is, I would have knocked up 2 units anyway. But as long as they don't have a carry on the same side as the Taric, like it's fine. He's still getting a ton of value out of his shield. So yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, you just have to play for egg value in this comp. It's something like small stuff like that, small positioning things. Egg value and Malzahar value can like absolutely swing fights or save you a little bit of HP. You know, like you ever have a game of TFT where you like go second by like 5. Also like that, like this fight, like I'll do an instant replay on it. Like, is this not the most disgusting thing ever? Like we're just losing this fight for free, and then we go to overtime, we kill the Cho, and then we double cast onto backline here, and just oh my god, like I like yelled and this guy's giga tilted that he loses this fight. He's like healing orbs didn't work. That's pretty good. XDD. It's incredible. But yeah, now that we've won that fight, we're actually in an amazing spot, especially if we can win this last fight here. I'm going to swap the egg back to over here so that I can get a good knock up. Boom, knock up 2 units with the egg. Honestly, my egg positioning this game was great. Honestly, Mal should be 1 more hex to the right so that he gets the triple ult here, because it's actually kind of scary. Oh yeah, this fight I was actually like really afraid that we were gonna lose. Like it was really close. Like Joe was like, "Oh, their board's pretty weak," and it like cost-wise their board is really weak, but this Malzahar with 3 items like actually just like tears through my board. But we still end up winning in the end. So now we're 70 gold. Kind of chilling. Like this is what Stars is Born allows you to do if you play the opener correctly. We can just pre-level to level 7 here. And the question is like, how much do we need to roll in this situation? I think all we really need at this point is like Vel'Koz 2 or like 1 Lux to stop rolling. Even like a Teemo is probably fine, but like you want to roll maybe a tiny bit here. Okay, but here's where the low roll begins. What I don't look at them until I roll a little bit because I want to roll first and then figure out my items. What am I gonna do with these items? Glove, bow, chain, cloak. Like it's actually so bad. Like I just don't have a buildable damage item from this spot. PG maybe as a but then I'm like losing my JG components. So yeah, I roll a little bit here. I hit the Vel'Koz too, and I'm like, yeah, we're done here. Get the Sona in. Yeah, he actually values Soraka here, which is like, man, like I just do not value the Soraka unit as highly as he does, but he actually likes it a lot, which makes sense. But yeah, like after thinking about it, it has to be Gargoyle Slam here. It's actually okay a little bit because we can make Gargoyle and then hold out hope that we're gonna make a Static Shiv later to get our MR Shred, because MR Shred is so important in this comp. Like the difference between this comp and with an Ionic or a Static Shiv and without is like night and day. So yeah, we still have an okay board, but yeah, like just kind of sus that our items just look horrible. But look, we are level 7, 60 gold. Like look at this person that we just fought, TFT Cream. They're level 7, 10 gold, and we stomped their board. Like, I don't know. It's so good. So yeah, we roll both of these here, which are both pretty horrible. I'm between I like Social D here. He says Unburden's actually solid in this comp, which is not bad. So I'm like, okay, I'm down to roll Social Distancing here. And then we roll into Three's a Crowd, which is another augment that I usually undervalue pretty hard. But like we're playing 2 3 costs on our board. Late game, we're gonna be playing 3 3 costs. Sona, Taric, and I'm forgetting Vel'Koz. Like later game, like Three's a Crowd, it's 333 HP for our entire board. Like it's actually pretty good. Versus like Unburden the attack speed, it's like solid but not amazing. So yeah, like I think honestly I underrate these augments a bit. So we end up deciding to pick Three's a Crowd here. It's basically Joe V's like, yeah, I think Three's a Crowd's better here, and I was like, okay, I'm down. I think like and okay, here by the way, it's not all fun and games, right? It is not all upside having Joe Bookmark backseat you. This guy tells me to go level 8 here, because I think he miscalculates my gold and thinks I would have more gold than I would. And so now I'm just level 8, 10 gold, and I just grief my entire game. But it's fine. It is like completely fine. We're still level 8, like 10. It's not that bad. Like, and it's like, it's not even we go 8 and win here. We go 8 and we get like 50 of it by this insane board who's just level 7, Urgot 2, Heimerdinger, Akshan 2. Like what is that board? But yeah, now we kind of have to repair our econ. We hit a Jarvan here. So we can play like this board, and it's completely fine. We do want to hold on to the Sonas. We don't care about Teemo this late into the game, and we can just play, like, spread out a little bit and make 20. And like, you know, our econ's not in a great spot, but it's not in the worst. But yeah, I mean, happens to everybody. I should have just like I should have been I just like blindly I was like, oh, you can level here, and I was like, oh really? Okay, let's try it. And then I level here, I'm like, wait, this seems awful. And he's like, oh yeah, that was probably not right. But it is all good. We're still a little bit of HP. But yeah, just for learning purposes, do not level in that position ever. That is just it's so bad. I just kill my own econ to not even win either of these fights. And now I have to roll it 4-5 with like a little bit less gold. But yeah, okay. So static shiv, JG, where there's also a static shiv Lux on carousel that chef's kiss. Like if we can take that, we are bing chilling. So we can take a static shiv, we can take a JG, static Lux gets grabbed here, and this gets grabbed here. So now I'm stuck with cloak, chain, or bow. What am I doing, man? Like my items are so like this is why I like the video has the title this is, which I don't know what it is yet. Because like look at my items, man. It's so doomed. I'm forced to take a chain vest here and then roll. I find a Scion actually, which is pretty solid. Find a Rise here, but it's fucking it's the worst Rise in the game. So we're not playing that. We can play Scion here over Oriana, and hitting the Scion actually means it's like pretty reasonable for us to play the there's a couple like versions of this comp you can play. You can play the 4 Sork version, or you can play like the 6 Sork version. You play 6 Sork if you're like really poor and you don't have enough gold to buy everything. But in this situation, we were able to go A with some amount of gold. We found a Scion, so now we're probably leaning towards the 4 Sork version, just with Scion plus another unit. Because if you can get solid units on your board, then it's good. But I mean, this is where we both start to sweat. Like okay, I get 10 out in this fight. I just have no damage whatsoever. I find a Scion pair and the Lux, which is actually really nice. The other nice thing about this comp, that like I sort of knew but like when Joe Bookmark said it out loud, I was like, oh, that's actually like a really good point. Is that you only need 2 damage items in this comp, right? You just need 2 damage items on Lux because you're gonna get a Radiant item as your last item. So like this, if there were a comp to Giga low roll all your damage items and have no damage items, this would be it. I would think. So yeah, we're fighting this Ari player, A Secret. They have Ari. We have a decent front line. Our Lux is like machine gunning through everything. But I mean, it's just their board is too strong, and my board just with Lux 1, it just does not do enough work. The nice thing is that 2 people are dead so far. We're in York's graveyard, by the way. So every time someone dies, we're gonna get an item here. You can't really play Hodge Lux, so it basically just has to be protectors here. Like Redemption is fine as well, I think. I'd actually like to go back and Joe's pick Joe's nose about this one because like I think Redemption's actually fine there. But here, right, we get the option of Sork Emblem or JG or Static Shiv. Oh yeah, because the Sork player died. Okay, and here's something really really smart. We wait here. Joe tells me just wait here, wait to see what your items are because if you get dropped a JG, then you can just take Sork Emblem. But if you don't, then you kind of need the JG. Beautiful stuff. We have the Vel'Koz. Joe's a Vel'Koz hater, or Belveth, but like honestly, it's not bad. So yeah, we rolled down a bit here. I put the Oriana back in on the board, which I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, at this point, we really just have to roll down and like find a real board to play. Oh yeah, because I'm 6 Sork, duh. So yeah, we can pivot back into 6 Sork, make JG, put the Protector's Vow here. But what's really important is that like I kind of really badly need to win this fight. That's why we roll down here because like if I don't win this fight, my chance of top 4 in this game is so low. I need to save as much HP as possible because my board is not going to cap out that high. So make Gunblade GS, make this there, and then we can just put the ZZ Rot on the Scion. And I mean, this is our board. We are just chilling with our Lux one and our Vel'Koz item carrying some stuff. The Lux ends up actually getting to backline. She's right in front of this Yasuo, but manages to not die, and then Vel'Koz gets the 2 HP, but then boom, boom, kills both. And all of a sudden, I mean, we're not chilling. We are not at all chilling, but we are not dead, so that's nice. Basically, we have to roll a 10, like, basically, I don't know why I said basically twice, I'm sorry. But yeah, we have to, like, roll the 10 every single round, because if we don't, we are just simply going to die. There's a lot of strong people in this lobby. We position like this so that our Ari stays in corner, or that our Lux stays in corner, and also so that we don't get AoE'd as much. This fight is actually quite winnable, right? So this person is stuck on a Kaisa 1 as their main carry. They do have this giant Cho'Gath in front though, which is a bit scary, isn't it? So like it takes us about 25 minutes to get through this Cho'Gath, but with GS Vel'Koz, we are sort of chilling. Go to overtime and zap Lux kills everything with the Archangels. And all of a sudden, looking at our position, it begins to look like it might be okay. we're stuck on we can't find Lux 2 on our roll down whatsoever because triple eight is Lux 2. They just hit like way before us. They were the person who was playing Sorks earlier, so they already have Lux 2. So that's messed up a little bit, and our items were very bad. But we've actually managed with our items off of Raptors to get to like a pretty good spot. Like we have good items on Lux. We had to make some slightly weird stuff, but yeah, we end up fighting Triple Eight here. Take a big loss to him. Go down to 11 HP. But Baby Zin goes down here, and Kovanel wins this fight. So we're now tied. That was also delayed damage, so we're actually only at 9 HP here. We are first pick here, and we can take this that's not what this unit is called. Ari off Carousel. It's actually Ari with Bruiser Spat, which is kind of solid because we're playing around the Scion, so we can play Ari and put the Bruiser Spat onto Scion, which is really nice. And the Ari just comes in very easily over the Orianna, so we can just play that here. We get another item here, but still I feel like our board's actually like lacking damage still at this point. So we just start slow rolling here, find one Lux, roll down here. I talk about potentially moving items over to Ari, but he says that it's not better. I can definitely believe that it's not better especially without a mana item. So we just keep this current board, and we managed to find the Lux 2 at 5/5. We find our 2-star 4 cost. So my god, we finally got there, and we're fighting this Kaisa board who has a Yasuo one. It's actually like really annoying because we get stuck on this Shen for a second, but we eventually get through Yasuo, stomp this board, and a secret takes a bot 4, and all of a sudden we are top 4 in one of the most stressful games ever. We get a blue buff here. It's either blue buff or Zephyr here. I'm pretty sure it is just blue buff here just because of the value on Ari with no mana, especially when we're not able to play Ionia this game. Like blue buff Ari here is amazing. So yeah, and now we have to fight Kovanel for our top 4 here. If we beat Kovanel, we top 4. If we lose, we don't. Now that we have 3 items, I even think about moving items over, but this is actually an interesting idea. Like, Joe says, don't move items off of Vel'Koz yet, because you want to play for like your most consistent fight here, which is going to be Vel'Koz. Like you need Vel'Koz to like sort of guarantee you the damage output so that you can win this fight. And we do actually just barely, and then we get to the. I really was afraid that this Kaiser was just going to one-shot our entire board, but we beat Kovanel here and lock in our top 3. And now we get Static Shiv for the Shred. But yeah, now what you can do is actually sell the Vel'Koz and move items to Ari. Now, why would I sell items? Like, why would I not sell it last round and move items to Ari? Because it's way more consistent to have this like Vel'Koz 2 in as a damage dealer. But Ari's like a very sort of like swingy carry. Like if we had like a JG on her somehow, like she could just like crit and kill their team. She does a lot of damage. Like she hits backline as well. Like Ari gives us the best chance of sort of like winning a fight against these stronger boards by just like randomly one-shotting something. Vel'Koz gives us the best chance of just having consistent damage output and winning those fights where we're actually like stronger than the player. This item's like pretty awkward. Yeah, it's just Shojin on Sona there, and then we can static shiv the Sona last and then move these items over to Ari. But yeah, like the only way we would ever win this fight is like maybe Ari like mana reaves someone and then like explodes before their Ari, and then like somehow we kill some units. But I mean, it's just an unwinnable fight, and we end the game at 3rd. But I think this was a really cool example of a game where our items were just completely griefed. Like all of our items that we had to take off carousel were so bad. Like this is our position item wise, and like our roll down is like a little bit unfortunate. Like it takes us so long to find a Lux. We're contested, but we managed to play it out to a 3rd. It shows why Stars is Born is so strong. Caitlyn is so strong because just like having this free early game allowed us to have like kind of a mid like not great board later. And we just absolutely popped off. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed some of the insight that I could hope to provide, and talking about what Joe Bookmark talked me through, because it was a really interesting game. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Catch you later. Bye.